In this video we will talk about Visual Studio LightSwitch product Microsoft just announced beta 1. So if you've been watching my blogs or C# corner blogs, if you see right here blogs, I've been writing on Visual Studio LightSwitch recently. So if you go to my blog or just click here, you will see I have bunch of few beginner articles and links on Visual Studio LightSwitch. So first thing you want to know is, why do I need this another version of Visual Studio? Isn't this current version 2005, 2008, 2010, aren't they enough? What is this Visual Studio LightSwitch and why do I need it? Well, let's say Microsoft is trying its hands on non-programmers now. So these are business people, they have no idea how to write code, but they do know what kind of application they want and what data they want to see on their user interfaces. So, but it doesn't mean that programmers or developers can't use LightSwitch. Sure, we can too. If you give me a tool and I can write my application without writing a single line of code, why wouldn't I use it? Absolutely, I'll use it too. So that's where Visual Studio LightSwitch comes. So if you click in one of these links, it will tell you where to download Visual Studio LightSwitch. Its download is very simple, okay? You don't have to have a really big download. What you're going to do is, as long as you have Visual Studio 2010 installed on your machine, if you do have that, what you're going to really do is just install this small LightSwitch and it adds templates to your existing Visual Studio 2010. So you can click this link and you download and just follow the installation instructions. So after you download and install Visual Studio LightSwitch, oops, there's a spelling mistake right here, I can see it. So anyway, so let's get back to this. So I'm going to close this blog screen and now I'm jumping back to my Visual Studio 2010. So after installing Visual Studio 2010, I did install Visual Studio LightSwitch from the link you just saw. As soon as you install, what you are going to see is, if you go say File, New Project, you are going to see a new folder for templates added here called LightSwitch. In this you see .NET Framework 4 is selected and there are two templates added here. One is for C# applications and one is for Visual Basic. Right now this is beta 1, so what Visual Studio LightSwitch does is it only gives you a simple application, but eventually goal is, using the LightSwitch you should be able to create Windows Forms applications, WPF applications, Silverlight applications, your ASP.NET web applications, or all kind of applications. So let's get started. Once you get started and you go through this video, you'll get a better idea why, and you will see why this LightSwitch product is really cool and important. So I select the C# here, and in my junk folder, as I always do that, I'm going to create my author's dashboard. So I'm going to create an application called author's dashboard and I'll say OK. Now as soon as your project is created, what you're going to see is, you'll see two options in the designer. One is called create new table, second one is attached to external database. So any application created in a LightSwitch product needs a database. If you do have a database, you can select the attached to external database option. If you do not have a database, it will allow you to create actually database and fill data here and actually it will do everything for you without even writing a single line of code. So now let's get back to our question, why do I need Silverlight? So light switch. So answer is, so I'm a business guy, I have no idea, I don't have SQL Server, Oracle, I don't even know how to build the databases, but I know what kind of data I need and I want to build my application. That's where I think for now LightSwitch would be used, and it's handy tool. It's like you know, it's like a designer tool where you don't really need to write any code. So let's get back to, let's create a new table. This will give you more ideas. So I say create new table. So as soon as you do that, you will see a form is open, and in this form you can type all your table and column names. I'll say, alright, name, obviously string type, and next I can go to, let's say, age. I'll say integer. I'll say address, string, city, string, I'm going to, these are not required fields, bio, string, and photo. So what I'm here right now, I'm creating a author table where I have author details, name, age, address, photo, bio, and any other fields you want to add to this thing. One thing you will notice here is at the top of this, in the top bar, you will see I can add relationships, I can compound property, queries, screen, new table, and bunch of other things. And here, if you look at the Solution Explorer, you'll see a data sources folder is added, and within that there's another folder which is a database called application data. In that there's a item, table 1 items. So right now you will see there are two folders here. One is called data source and the other one is the screens. Right now there is no screen, but eventually we are going to add a screen. So first thing this application needs is data. So if you say save, you can also actually change the name of this table. Say rename. I'm going to rename to say author. One other thing you can do is say right click here and you'll say add another table. So you can also add another table. So for example, I'm going to say create another. I'll add that table later. So first let's just add one table. Before I get into more details into this database, how to build different complex application, let's just look at how powerful this tool is. So now our data is ready. Actually data is not ready, but we know what data we want to capture from an application and what data we want to display. Now next option is you need to create a screen. A screen is basically a user interface where you can view, add, update, and delete the data. So if you click on plus screen, you will see this add new screen wizard or dialog pops up, where you can see you want to add a new screen data, search screen data, detail screen data, editable grid screen, list, and detail screen. So let's just go for new data screen for now. And screen name we are going to call it add author. Screen data, as you see, we are going to capture from author item we just added a minute ago. That means this form here is going to look like the data we just built in the background, and I'll say OK. Now as soon as you click OK, what you're going to see is you will see there's an author item property. This is your, basically you can say, class, where you see ID, name, address. They are exactly mapping with the data we just added. and then this is our actual, that's where we can actually change if you want to, but this is just displaying. Okay, these are controls corresponding mapping to a property or a column name in our database. So you can see, okay, this is how our application is going to look like. It will have two rows. First row is going to say add author, second is screen command bar, and that you will see there's a command bar where you'll see text box, text box, text box, image editor, and you can add more. You can even add custom more if you want to, because these are automatically generated from the data we just passed. We are going to link this into our other detail later. First, just that's fine. We just keep it simple. Save. Now that's it. So far we have not added any line of code, if you notice, since the day one. So F5, I'm going to run this application. I just simply hit F5. As soon as I hit F5 and I run my application, you will see the user interface looks like it's coming up, it's loading, it's a little slow, obviously. So as you can see, at the top of the bar I see save and refresh, two options. In this menu right here, task list, that's where I have bunch of items. Remember add author, the screen we added right there. So by default add author is selected because there's only one screen we added, and as soon as you click on add author, you will see it's going to keep adding the author screens. So let's close this for a second. Discard. Here I'm going to type my name. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually adding author data from here. Good thing, watch this. In photos, since it was an image type of column, as soon as you roll over, you will see upload and close. So as soon as you click on this upload option, you will see you can actually upload images right there. So look at here are some authors from C# corner, and I'm going to select Mahesh from here. Now this is all my data, and as soon as I say save, voila, data is already saved. Everything is saved now. Now I can add another author. I'm going to say, okay, my goal. He's only 22 years old. Texas house. Same thing, I'm just gonna pick Mike's image, add, save, add another author. Oops, I don't have Praveen's photo, but I'll just pick any. So now, as you can see, if I click on these tabs, I can really browse through these authors. So my data is added, I can see, display, I can edit, update them. And again, you can also, modify this in more details, but this was pretty much a quick overview of how powerful this new product can be, how business guys who don't even know ABC of code or even DBAs, they can start building their own applications. So I'm going to stop right here, but in my next as soon as I learn more, I'm going to share more videos on this this new product.